there and welcome to this week's Sunday Girl. And my guest this week, he wants to state that he's here unwillingly, okay? My guest this week is top content producer, James Maher. James, welcome at last to Sunday Girl. Stop blushing. James and I know each other about, what do we know each other about, 3 years? More?
Well, more than that, sure. Back when I was working in royalty, be in and out getting stuff for the models too, so I'd say better part of 5, 6 years. Better
part of 5 or 6 years. Okay, do you want to tell everybody, first of all, a little bit about you, how we met and what you do?
The short version of the long story is back in 2018, I kind of got into cameras back in 2016 when I was running the Facebook page for said shop, Royal Menswear. In 2018 then I decided to start filming things. I made a little pancake video on Pancake Tuesday, and then I started showing up to events around Kerry and around Ireland. And like 4 of those events wanted me back the next year, and they actually wanted to hire me on, which was ridiculous.
What you kind of started doing was getting experience by doing events for free, and then when you went professional you said, hey guys, I now have a kind of a portfolio of work. I'm going to set myself up and I'm going to charge for it. Is that basically how it went?
Yeah, that'd be pretty much it. And a couple of jobs at the start of 2019, and then in July 2019 I kind of needed to know where I was going to be in 2 weeks and be able to set up shoots and that kind of thing, and I couldn't while I was working in the shop, so I just kind of went, alright, time to finish, and been freelance ever since then. So like, God, yeah, that's 3.5 years.
Is that 3.5 with you? And you were telling me that you were setting up your own business, and I remember saying, listen James, like if you do set up, you know, we'll definitely work together. And I think our first job together was it the Stole Races? Did we go out and shoot? Yeah, that was brilliant. That was kind of the early days of producing videos for Instagram, and we went out and we shot a series of videos with different people around the Stole. Yeah, and then did we do a fashion videos together? Oh, you filmed the fashion at the Aghadoe Heights.
Advertising, pre-advertising content for the new collections fashion show and luncheon at the Aghadoe.
There you go. Yes, the title right and everything is better than what I would do.
And then I was on site on the day to actually film the whole event, and that was good crack.
And we moved on to doing, we created content together for RTE during lockdown.
Yeah, it was, we did one segment for Paco first of all that was shown on RTE, and then I can't even remember when that was, but then
Paco segment, I know we did that in March 2020.
That was March 2021 when we actually started doing the 10 video segments for RTE.
That was great fun, wasn't it? That was a learning curve for both of us, in that we, I think, thought that, yeah, we could produce 3 of those a day. Not 3 a month.
And we'll shoot 2 a day, no problem. By the end of it, it's like, it's okay, we'll shoot half today and half tomorrow.
And then we'll reshoot it on Wednesday.
Oh, it was good crack though, and that, like,
it was a learning curve, yeah. I think,
but
I think we both came out of it and learned a huge amount. I mean, I learned a huge amount about storytelling and scripting, and the need to go in prepared to the finest detail, that you can do nothing on the hop. And of course, look, then you went way beyond Orla Diffily Productions.
What are you talking about?
And you went right out there, stellar, into the big bad world. And you've been one really busy guy since. Yeah, tell us just a little bit about some of your clients.
God, last year was ridiculous. I'd say I can't have a video and talk about my work without mentioning Crua Outdoors, a Tralee-based tent company, and I've been shooting their content now for the past couple of years. And I don't know what we did last year, but the year before we had 14 projects that year.
Whoa!
Like 14 projects, and that's with one company. Like some weeks, like when I'm properly busy, I'd be filming 5-6 days a week and editing until 2 o'clock in the morning, just trying to get the stuff done and out. And like, I have a great relationship with my clients, and like I love what I do. I love the travelling that's involved. Like I'd be up and down the country the whole time, like frequently up in Dublin, Cork, Limerick.
Abroad, you were in France not so long ago.
End of January.
I think the progression of your career has really been word of mouth.
Oh, yeah,
you know, that's how I would see it from the outside in. You also have really, really good social content, you know, and we'll share his tag underneath. But your social content is kind of lets people see what you do, but it's not a hard sell. It's a real kind of soft insight, you know, kind of behind the scenes and what it's like to work with you in jobs.
When it comes to Instagram and things like that, like I put up most of that stuff honestly just for the crack, like not so much to say, oh, this is me and this is what I'm doing, like, and you should hire me to do this. like, honestly, it's just fun for me.
Okay. And tell me, any career highlights so far?
Some memorable moments from last year would have definitely been Kieran O'Callaghan's Tom Crean Dingle Peninsula Challenge.
Oh, I remember seeing that on your Instagram.
Yeah. You got together like 8 lads and they circumnavigated the Dingle Peninsula in they got there in 22 hours. Like, they started in Blennerville, walked from Blennerville to Inch Beach, cycled from Inch Beach to the Dingle Harbour, kayaked around the Dingle Harbour, then back on the bike, ran from Dingle to Ventry, back on the bike to the bottom of Mount Brandon, hiked up and over Mount Brandon, and then cycled up and over Connor Pass.
Wow, unbelievable.
That was so cool. That was so much fun just following them around. I had the roof tent on the Jeep and was just chilling around. All that, like, I live for stuff like this.
Well, you see, outdoors is kind of your world.
Oh yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Like, that's where you both spend your on and off time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I love just being out in the woods, lighting a campfire for myself. Just like, it's properly unplug.
And a great way to chill out.
Yeah,
because I think it's also worth saying for anybody outside in, looking in, or considering a career in this industry, that it is a stressful industry to work in as well. There's tight deadlines, there's issues sometimes when jobs don't go well, and there's so many little fiddly bits when you're shooting on location. Like the weather, light, sound, models, problems, complications, and then delivery of all of that to the clients and making them happy. So it is a stressful job.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, there's I love doing what I'm doing, but like, there are days that I just kind of sit at my desk just looking at my computer going like, what? Like, yeah, there'd be days I'd be just sitting there wondering what in God's name I'm doing and just trying to figure everything out and then just properly stressed. Like, my mental health does tank every couple of months, but, you know, like, I'm in therapy at the moment, so I'm going back to it.
Yeah, it is stressful, and yeah, I mean, mental health does take a hit, but it's great in that at least now we're all very open about that, and you know, we can talk to each other about it, and there is professional services out there that help.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I do work with Jigsaw Ireland, mainly Jigsaw Kerry, the Kerry branch, and they'd be a mental health organisation for the youths of Ireland. Like, it's a free service for anyone in between the ages of 18 to 25. They give you 8 sessions. Honestly, like, just give them a call and see what the crack is.
Oh really?
Then the Grassroots Gazette, they're one of the largest equine magazines in the country. They've actually launched a campaign this week, the Hey, How Are You campaign. So just sort of reach out to a friend of mine, or a friend who you haven't heard from in a couple of months. Just say, hey, how are you? See how they're getting on.
And tell that's a great idea. And for somebody thinking of getting into the industry, I know your path in was essentially, you know, doing the work for a couple of years and then making contacts, opening your business, and then 20-hour days for about a year. So somebody else watching this thinking, hey, I'd like to do what James does, what would you say to them?
Like, honestly, just start. Pick up a camera and go film something. It doesn't matter if it's bad, as long as you're able to film it and put it together and then see that it's bad and make adjustments, get better at it. Then eventually people are going to start asking you to film things for them. It's overnight. Like, you're not going to buy a camera and start a production company tomorrow. Like, sure, you said it yourself, I was at this for about a year before I even started getting paid for jobs.
Correct, yeah. Then you kind of reached out to people and it just happened organically. It happened organically, James, because you're good at what you do and you care about it. And I think also, and it's really important to say, because I'm client side with James, that you're really, really easy to work with. So shoots are fun. Everybody always says shoots with James are fun. The models love being booked with James because they have a fun day out, and he brings the van and he makes some coffee. You might even play them guitar. We'll get to that in a minute. So James, tell me, what do you do in your off time? Like, how do you decompress from this job?
Anyone that follows me on Instagram knows that I'm frequently found in a forest or up a mountain, and so I'm big into my hiking, big into anything outdoors. I go sea swimming a bit in Phoenix in the mornings. My longboarding too, like I've hit 56 kilometers an hour on a plank.
Whoa! When I first met James, I was so impressed by the fact that he could do backflips.
Oh yeah.
We can get some footage of those.
Yeah, a hobby of mine is doing backflips in random spots that I find.
And then kind of other people kind of saying to you, do you remember the time that Don O'Neill was up here? He was up here for dinner, a great friend of ours, and I was talking about James because I think we were doing some job coming up together.
Delphine was up here.
Delphine was up as well. That's right. And you had filmed Delphine.
Yeah, I filmed your Sunday Girl like maybe 2 or 3 weeks beforehand.
That's right. And we were talking about, you know, this guy that filmed Sunday Girl with me who also does backflips. And Don O'Neill said, that's really weird, because I was walking on the beach in Ballyheigue last night at about, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night. He said, and there was this guy there, and he was doing backflips.
Yeah, it was me camping down on Ballyheigue Beach. We were just messing around doing some backflips on the beach. This guy comes over and says, oh, that was so cool. He's there walking the dog. Yeah, it turns out it was an international fashion designer. That was not, yeah, the lads lost their mind when I told them about that. That was so fun.
I think one of the jobs that I really remember fondly was that day we were up in Montenotte and it was like -2 degrees and we were there with Nikki.
Yeah, it was one of the last Ortiz segments we did, and like it literally started snowing up there. And like Nikki was there, and she had you had her in a tutu at one point.
A tutu, and then shorts.
What a trooper! But no, that was good crack. Then we had my little gas stove with me, making coffee and soup out in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, there was a real magical quality to that shoot, because I think it was still in the middle of, you know, lockdown, or at least
absolutely.
It was a very quiet time, and it was just a joy to be out in the open and in such a beautiful place and such a beautiful day. I think that I hope that magic quality translated in film, but I think it did.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it did. James, what would your favourite type of project be to work on?
I mean, like, it's no secret I love being outside, but honestly, the environmental programs that I work on for the likes of Taisce, and like last year I spent the better part of 6 months filming with the LEAF organisation, the Learning Everything About Forests, just a small organisation that's run under Taisce, and they go around to schools around Ireland planting 200 trees into Uncqueil Bheag, so the little woodlands that the teachers then use for, like, you know, outdoor classrooms, wellness events. The Educate Together school in Limerick actually has a pizza oven in there too. Like, it's class, and they have little like outdoor parties. But like that's all just promoting how important it is for trees and the environment, and I just love doing anything to do with that. Like,
well, that's kind of part of your whole brand. That's your soul. It is. I mean, that's where your passion lies. It is like, this, you know, it's like the outdoors. So I know, James, that you also play the guitar, because we've been lucky enough that when you come up here as a house guest sometimes, like I said to James, look, forget about bringing booze, just bring your guitar. He's going to get really shy now. But
so you tend to say it, so you're good at this, but like we both know there was 2 or 3 bottles of wine gone by the time I pulled out the guitar.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay, that's being honest about it.
I picked it up maybe 2 weeks after the first lockdown kicked in, and just gave me something to do, YouTube videos and messing around with this, and I bring it into the forest with me.
So you're self-taught?
Allegedly.
No, you're really good. No, you're really good. And we're going to end this interview with just a very short excerpt to show how really good he is at playing the guitar. And James, I know you have done this under coercion. Thanks for coming up, sharing your story. It's an inspirational story, and we'll give you James's contact details at the end of this piece as well. So James Maher, thank you for being my guest on Sunday Girl. And both of us wish you a great week.
No problem. Through the valley of the shadow of death, and I'll fear no evil, because I'm blind to it all. And my mind and my gun, they comfort me, because I know I'll kill my enemies when they come. Surely goodness and mercy will follow.